Hey man, what it is? This is Deem, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go to Cash App, $Dean by any means. There go to PayPal at Dean by any means. Show your boys some love. Y'all know YouTube taking 70%. Y'all already know. Y'all see that heart with the $? Well, that's the super chat. You could press that at any time your heart desires. Please say it with me, y'all. I don't care if you leave $1, $10, $1,000. It is much, much, much appreciated, y'all. David Benavidez versus David Morrell. I just want to say we was given a gift. I think the boxing gods heard how my heart was hurting and how much my feelings was hurt with this boxing stuff, that they actually gave us something that we actually wanted. I feel like they made this fight just for me. I know you a boxing fan, but I don't care. I feel like they made this fight just for me. I am very, 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 very excited. And all I'm gonna say is they lucky Dean got some stuff going on, or I would have been in Las Vegas. I'm gonna be honest. I'd have been in Las Vegas right there. I'm sorry. I can't do it. All positive too. When I say some things going on, it's positive things, but it is what it is. Lord have mercy. I'm so happy I ain't gotta talk about narratives. I ain't gotta talk about who ducking, not ducking. Dave Benavidez and Dave Morrell are two of my most respected fighters in boxing right now because they both took a hell of a risk even fighting each other. And that's the craziest part. What's the risk I'm talking about? Well, David Benavidez is a bigger name, more established. We all know who he is. David Benavidez is probably one of the most liked fighters in boxing. I don't care if his support or the pay-per-view buys don't match that. I know the climate in boxing. David Benavidez is looked at as a stand-up. David Benavidez is looked at as a guy that is kind of hard to not like in boxing. There's really not too much you could say about him besides the cocaine. I'm going to be honest. There ain't too much you could say about David Benavidez besides the cocaine. Can't say he ain't trying to get the fights. Can't say he ducking smoke. Can't say he be just clout chasing. Can't say a bunch of stuff about David Benavidez, and that's why I respect him so much. So that's why it's such a risk for him to take on a phenom, a guy I've been telling y'all probably could got a chance to be the best fighter in boxing. And I guarantee people will look at him if he beats David Benavidez after this. But for him to take on that risk of fighting David Morrell, besides Abdullah Mason, probably the top. I wouldn't even say David Morrell. He's not a prospect because he was a champion. But what I mean is David Morrell is newer to the scene. You understand? He's not a guy. He's in that Keyshawn Davis, Abdullah Mason elk. And I know most, even though I have to put him above both of those guys, I think he has more talent. I think he can accomplish more, the whole nine. Um, for David Benavidez to take that risk, I gotta salute my hat to my big dog. I gotta salute Big Dog. Got to, man. Very proud of David Benavidez, of his boxing career so far. Future Hall of Famer, hands down. David Morrell, for him to sit up there and take this risk, going after everything I just said about David Benavidez, that's everything that David Morrell is facing. He's facing somebody who doesn't get tired. He's facing somebody who's a honey badger in the ring. He is mean as it, man. Listen here, he mean as a rattlesnake. He mean every word he say. When he say he gonna come in there to try to destroy David Morrell and make him quit and send him to the hospital, David Benavidez is definitely going to attempt to do all of that. And for David Morrell to sit up there and be the young man that he is, to sit up there and take that risk and put his, because he didn't even let it build up. I mean, he let it build up enough. It been building for like about a year, like legit building. But for him to be at the point he's at in his career, to get the fight that he wanted as early as he did, and then to accept it and not make no excuses and not run away from the smoke. Hats off to David Morrell. That's why he one of my favorite fighters. That's why he in my top 5 favorite fighters. That's why both of these guys are in my top 10 favorite fighters because of this. I was proven right. Right again. I was right again. I was proven right again from look at both of these young men and what they did. How can I not like them? If you watch them fight, what is there not to like? If you how they go about their business, what is there not to like? David Morrell and David Benavidez is stand-up dudes, man. Make sure you buy the pay-per-view because they deserve it, y'all. We can't not support. The fights we want the best to fight the best. This is a fight that we asked for, and then you stream it, and then you do anything like that, man, and don't support, man. You hurting the sport, buddy. You're hurting the sport, buddy. Please. I ain't telling y'all with them little trash cards. Go ahead, do what you gonna do, bro. I don't care. But fights like this, we gotta support. It's like a Shakur and Tank fight, and you don't buy the pay-per-view or go to the fight. That's the like, bro. You can't not support things you begged and asked for. That bothers me in boxing. David Benavidez and David Morrell should be selling 400,000 or 500,000 pay-per-views because it is that many people interested. But don't let nobody think that in a 500,000 boxing fans and Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and who the hell ever that's going to be interested in this fight. I ain't got it. Everybody already know what's going on, bro. Like, so at the end of the day, you really gotta you don't fucking hear me making a video. Anyway, David Benavidez and David Morrell, they just on a different level. And they need to really make this, like I said, man. Now, as far as in the ring, man, I ain't gonna lie, it's getting a little tight in here. You hear what I'm saying? It's getting a little tight. David Benavidez look like he ain't playing around. David Benavidez look like he ain't playing around a little bit. When I was watching him train, he just seemed, dialed in. Like more focused than I ever seen him before. People was making fun of his body and all that. We know he built like Tyson Fury, but he seems like he's in phenomenal shape. I'm not gonna lie. He seems like he's in very, very good shape. For sure. David Morrell, he just seems so cool and relaxed and so confident, man. And as he should, because he's a phenom in boxing, he just seems like he got that much belief in his skills. David Morrell, I truly believe David Morrell and truly understand that David Morrell feel like David Benavidez is not better than me at nothing. He don't have better footwork than me. He's not faster than me. And I think I'm stronger. If not, I think I'm just as strong, if not stronger than David Benavidez. I truly feel like David Morrell believes that. Most of us know that part of that is true. The strength part, we gonna find out. But as far as like the speed and footwork and all that, the only thing David Benavidez has over David Morrell is, I'll say, maybe they cutting off the ring. David Benavidez might be a little better at that. David Benavidez is probably better at fighting in the clinch than David Morrell is. David Benavidez is... David Benavidez, we got to see how mean. I can't even say he's meaner than David Morrell, because David Morrell is a very, very mean fighter as well. He's a honey badger, a dog. He's definitely coming in there looking for the knockout. And I just like how cool David Morrell is about this whole situation. He don't seem stressed. He don't seem uptight. He don't seem nervous. He seemed like he's ready to get what he asked for. I truly believe David Morrell thinks he could beat David Benavidez for sure. If anybody, I feel like David Morrell is more confident than David Benavidez is right now. And I think David Benavidez is hella confident. That's just me being real. That's just me being honest. I'm going to be honest with you. So I see a fight of the year, man. This is what I see when I look at these two individuals about the Rumble. I see potential fight of the year. I don't care what nobody says, man. This is what I expect from both men, from everything that they've been talking about and saying and how they've been acting, how much we wanted from this fight. I expect that, and I think this is one of the fights that we're going to get exactly what we expect. I think there's going to be blood all over that ring. Absolutely. I think we're going to see the test in the heart of a warrior. I think we're going to see what everybody gas tank really looking like. I think we're going to see how good David Benavidez is. I think we're going to see how phenomenal David Morrell is, and that David Morrell, we probably underhyped David Morrell. We should have been hyping him up even more. David Morrell beats David Benavidez and don't let him knock him out. David Morrell will be looked at as a top 3, top 4 best fighter in boxing, and it won't even be close. You can't name too many people more talented than David Morrell. as far as skill set, attributes, all that. You can't find too many people much more equipped than David Morrell to be good at boxing. He was made for boxing. His DNA was made for boxing. He got into the right sport. So y'all already know what this is, man. Dean, by any means. And I holla at y'all.